Dear students, greetings from Chitkara University. I'm Narendra Gada, Dean Chitkara College in Sales and Marketing. Let me take this opportunity to welcome you to the session on marketing management. Well, today we'll be discussing about corporate strategic planning. And before we do that, let's try and understand what corporate strategic planning is all about. Well, corporate strategic planning is a company-wide approach at the business unit and corporate level for developing strategic plans to achieve a longer-term vision. I'm sure all businesses exist because they have a vision, they have a mission, they have a business plan, they want to be in business, they want to be in the market, they devise strategies accordingly. So somewhere we see that the strategic planning and the business objective and performance of the organization goes hand in hand. Dear students, let's look at corporate strategic planning from three aspects: the planning part, the implementation part, and the controlling part. We've seen corporate planning, happens at the highest level, at the management level, when they draw their plans, when they set a vision and mission for the organization. Well, this strategic planning also happens at division level, at different department level also, at business level also. What kind of planning they have, if they have one business line or if they have multiple business line, and also at product level also, that for this different product mixes, what kind of strategies they're going to have in place. Then comes the implementation part, and they organize their resources, and based on whatever planning that they've done, they try and implement the plan. And then finally, the controlling part comes into play, where they would like to measure the results, that whatever they had planned, whether at corporate level or division level or at business or product level, is it really working well? Are those strategies in place? Are people aligned and working towards that? So it is time to measure the results and find out whether they're on the right track or not. They also try to diagnose the results, if they've got results, whether favorable or unfavorable, whether desired or undesired. They try and diagnose the results also as to where they've got more success, what were the reasons that they've done well, and what are the reasons if they've not done so well. And then accordingly, corrective actions are taken. They take corrective actions, because the idea of monitoring is to reach the root cause of anything, and basis that they try and do some course correction if required, and basis that the data that they have at their disposal, they try to take some corrective measures and try to bring back the business, and they try to bring it back on track as well. Now, corporate strategic planning is system-wide. It's a methodology for formulating strategic plan to accomplish companies' long-term goals. It helps the business unit and corporate level also, and target to achieve long-term goals. Top management of the organization responsible plan. So let me tell you, when we're talking about corporate strategic planning, the planning starts with the top level, with people, those who really matter, and they lay down the foundation of the corporate planning, and they share with the team that what their long-term goals are going to be, where do they see this organization in so many, maybe 5 or 10 years from now. And then they are further broken into the division goals, the department goals, or the product-wise targets or goals. Let's try and see that all these organizations, how do they bring corporate strategic planning into implementation? What is the methodology they follow if corporate strategic planning has to be done, and how it percolates to each employee in the organization? Well, you would see that all good and big organizations, they have their documented vision and mission statement, which gives a direction to all the employees to aspire for or to work towards it. and an organization exists to accomplish something. And we've seen over the time mission may change to respond to new opportunities or market conditions. We see there's a lot of alignment and realignment also that happens in mission. Sometimes it's not that an organization probably started with one mission and it stuck to it throughout, because sometimes or most of the time market forces also helps us in deciding as to what kind of course correction that we need to do, as to what kind of vision and mission that we should be following. So I'm just sharing with you one example from Amazon, which started with its mission that world's largest online bookstore to aspiring to be the world's largest online store. So we see there's a change. And this change happens depending on the market dynamics. So we should always keep this in mind that though most of the people, those who really matter at the helm of any organization, the top management, though they want to have sustainable vision and mission statements, but many a times we've seen that they have to change their plank or stance basis the dynamics and the volatility of the market. So what mission is trying to define? A company should address, as Peter Drucker says, some classic questions. What is our business? What kind of business we are in? Who are our customers? Because if we are trying to build a vision, statement or a mission statement, it's imperative. It's important to know which business line we are going to enter and who are going to be our customer and what is of value to these customers, what will make difference to the lives of the targeted customer. Will they get value out of the product or service that they're going to offer? These are certain things which one needs to keep in mind while being at the helm of affairs or while being in top management as they decide on vision and mission statement. What our business be? What should our business be? So what will our business be? What should our business be? So they also try and interpret, or they also try and discuss and think about what kind of business line they will have and how this business is going to look like, how this business will be interpreted by the people or the customers, those who are going to make the use of their product or service, and how will they be able to create value for them over a period of time. So successful companies, they continuously ask and answer these questions all the time. These questions always bother them, gives them food for thought, because this is their reason for existence. And we know that businesses, they revolve around visions and missions of different organizations. So this is very important, because vision and mission would set the tone for the organization. People, they emotionally also get tied up to the vision and mission, and even customers for that matter. So it's very, very important for big organizations, for meaningful organizations, to have vision and mission statements for them. Now, when we are trying to define corporate mission, in terms of products, in terms of market definition, which talks about, customer satisfaction, the focus is on limited number of goals. It's not that it's a document where you have so many things on it. No, this document has to create that kind of impact on the customer, so that the organization is able to achieve its long-term goals. So they focus on limited number of goals. They stress the company's major policies and values. They take a long-term view, and they are crisp, they're short, and they're meaningful, as possible. So I'm just discussing with you one of the mission statement from Tata International. It says to be the most reliable global network for customers and suppliers that delivers value through product and services to be responsible value creator for all our stakeholders. So this is one of the mission statement where, because in vision, we are talking or we are discussing more, it's an inspirational statement by the top management of the organization. That's a future desired state which they are trying to share with the world, with the organization, with the people within the organization and outside as well, because that's what they aspire to be over a long period, over a a longer horizon. Uh, Whereas vision is more about how how are they going to achieve it, or how are they going to reach there. So mission would entail, probably those steps, one or two, three steps, or those strategic intent points, that how are they going to make this a reality and how they're going to reach there. So this is what mission and vision would entail. Now, when we talk about corporate strategic planning, there's a lot of planning which is done at strategic business unit level also, because there are some organizations which may have multiple business lines. So they manage different businesses, and each would require their own strategy. If I have to share with you an example, I will talk about DCM Shriram. It's a conglomerate of different industries. They are into cement, they are into caustic soda, they are into resin, they are into UPVC window, which is unplasticized polyvinyl chloride. So they have different business line. And for each business line, you need to have a different strategy in place. It doesn't work otherwise. So as I was talking to you about UPVC window, it would have a complete different set of capabilities which you would require as compared to a different business line which they may have. So that is how they've been managing different businesses, and they have a different strategy altogether. Probably, say for a company called Fenesta, which is their customer-facing organization, they have a complete field force which would move every day, would go and meet architects, would go and meet the end consumers, basis the leads that they get from architects, and they go and tell about and share about their products. So they may have a field force of say 40 odd or 50 odd people in each city. But when we talk about the cement business, it's a different ballgame altogether, because they will have a different strategy altogether. They would need different resources altogether. They may not have this kind of a sales force. They may have a different marketing strategy for their product. Maybe they'll be spending more on advertisements. Maybe they would be spending more on dealer and distributor network, which probably a company like Fenesta, which is into UPVC windows and doors, may not be doing it. So we need to understand that. So what are the three characteristic of strategic business unit? It is a single business or a collection of related business that can be planned separately from the rest of the company. So it's not that you have same strategy for all the business line. It depends, because you may have different aspiration for different business line, because all these business lines could be diverse, or all these business lines can complement the main business also. So it depends what kind of business line an organization is into. So it depends, and that can be planned separately from the rest of the company. So one business line strategy can be completely different than that of what that company is majorly into. It has its own set of competitors, exactly, and that's the reason we need different strategy. If I was talking about cement, yes, they may get competition from Ambuja Cement, from ACC Cement. So here the competition is absolutely different. But if I talk about windows and doors, yes, they may have competition from the brands which are there in UPVC window. So there's so many n number of brands. There's international competition which is also coming into play. So since the market is different, market space is different, market players are different, the competition is different. So the strategy also has to be different. So one size fits all will not work, all the time. They need to have different strategy for different business lines. It has a manager responsible for strategic planning and profit performance who controls most of the factor affecting profit. So they have their own set of people, they have their own teams who would be looking into the revenue that it is generating. So they have different meetings also. The head of the organization, the top management would deal with all these business line differently. They would have review meetings with the top management of that business line separately. They will try and understand what is going on in that particular segment. So it is a very, very methodical approach, when it comes to strategic business unit planning, which is done in the organization. The purpose of identifying companies' strategic business unit is to develop separate strategy and assign appropriate funding. Yes, all the different lines they would need different funding. Now we're talking about company like HUL. They are into different segments. They make ketchup, they make soaps, they make perfumes. They have other lines as well. So the funding would vary, depending on the market size, the market share, and most importantly, the vision and mission of the organization. At the end of the day, whatever is done even at the granular level, the organization wants that somewhere it remains connected to the broader vision and mission of the organization. So accordingly, resources are allocated to each strategic business unit. As I was talking, maybe if there's a company, I'll say company X, and it has got to do something in the financial market, and it is also in production line, it is also say in some service. So everywhere resources would always also be different. And in terms of manpower deployment, capability development, again, the plan will be basis the business line these units are into. So you cannot have one plan across for all the business line. So this helps us, helps giving that business unit more direction, helping in appropriate and judicious implementation of the strategy, and also it leads to resource optimization. Now, when we're talking about corporate strategic planning, I think we should also look at how we're going to define the role of marketing strategy. We plan path to achieve organizational market objective, use of limited resources to achieve goals. It's not that they'll keep on pumping money. Most of the organization would also like to look at how much are they investing and what is the kind of returns that they've been getting from the market. So they pump resources, monies, and everything very, very intelligently. They will like to save at certain points. Yes, they will go all out for investment if it makes business sense. So what is prime? I think business sense is the prime. That does it really make business sense for me to invest here, or should I, maybe pull out some money from this business and put it somewhere else where I'm really growing? Or is it that maybe I pump in more money here where we are not doing well and it will help me grow my business? So we know marketing strategy, they help us achieve organization goal, increase visibility of organization. Now these marketing strategies, actually are helping us in increasing our visibility. And when I say visibility, there are so many platforms through which visibility can be increased. It could be direct contact with the customer through websites, through social media platforms, through online events, through offline events, through panel discussions, to conclaves. There are n number of platforms that can be leveraged to ensure the visibility of the organization. The top management of the organization is responsible for planning. I told you that the vision and mission actually starts with the thought and intent of the top organization as to where they want to see their organization, say in 10 years from now, or 15 or 20 years from now, because we're talking about long-term goals. So long-term goals need to have sound planning so that which can lead to a sustainable growth of the organization. And this actually happens at the top management level only, because when I was talking to you about defining what vision is all about, it is actually about a desired future state. It is an inspirational statement that where they want to be in so many years, and what is that they want to achieve in so many years. Here they may not be talking about house. They're just trying to define a desired future state for the organization. So even if you look at Kotler's definition of market strategy, it says lays out target markets and the value proposition that will be offered based on analysis of the best market opportunities. I'm sure market is full of opportunities, but what makes the difference at an organizational level is, are we able to analyze which all are best market opportunities available? How are organizations going to leverage those opportunities? It's not about entering the market and going all out, entering any market and going all out. It is all about saying what is best. And then they build their strategy around the target market. They try and offer value proposition to the customer, because at the end of the day, all meaningful organizations, they are trying to offer value to the customer as to what do they get if they buy their product, both in terms of the utility, the usage, and also at a perception level also, how the product is perceived by the customer. Like companies like Tata, people are assured of that if they buy a Tata product, that's bound to work. They may not even think twice while purchasing a product from Tata. So what kind of value it delivers, I think, is important. A phone like Apple phone, people know the kind of value it creates. One, the kind of positive perception it has got, and the other is now people getting used to its functions and features, getting probably glued to it. So they have found out, what is the best market opportunities, and the people are looking for these kind of features. People are looking for these kind of advantages and benefit. And this is the segment which is actually looking for these kind of features. So let's target this segment. Let's target this group. So that helps them build their business proposition. I'm sure when we talk about corporate strategic planning, we need to keep these 3 C's in mind. Customer, I think everything revolves around the customer. Customer has his needs and wants, and there's a demand in the market. So that is the reason products and services are transacted. And these organizations, at the end of the day, are trying to create something meaningful for the customer. This is the segment which they research so that they can pitch their products and services accordingly. Competitors, yes, definitely. I think this is the driving force in the market. For some companies, they may look at competitors and plan their strategies, because they would like to see whether they would like to just have a similar product, or would they like to have a different product altogether? And how is that they are going to create that differential advantage as compared to the competition which is there in the market? What is the customer, will the customer find something more useful as compared to what is available in the market? And this competition also helps them in deciding the array of offerings that they can have. Is it that they can have more products because this is making more sense? Or is it that the competition lacks somewhere so this, they can come up with more products? So competition definitely remains one of the driving force for any organization to decide their marketing strategy. Capabilities. Capability is, if I have to put it in simple words, yes, one is when we look at capability in terms of skills, in terms of knowledge, but here we can also link it to SWOT as to what are the strengths of the organization, what are the weaknesses, what opportunities they have, and what are the threats. So here they can also look at what are the weaknesses in terms of competition also, and probably get into that segment if that's their strength. And maybe if that's not their strength, probably they should stay away from that kind of a market segment. So that this helps them analyze the market, that where are the opportunities. At the end of the day, through marketing strategies, you're trying to mine out what all opportunities are there in the market, and basis those opportunities you try to knit your strategy. And then while you stitch your strategy, and since the strategy is in line with the vision and mission of the organization, I think that itself helps the organization to move in that desired direction. And we know somewhere the strategic planning and the business performance of any organization, it goes hand in hand, because they cannot be done in isolated. At the end of the day, any organization or every organization for that matter, they have to perform and they have to achieve their long-term goals. So these three C's actually are very, very important when it comes to devising any kind of marketing strategy. So customers, yes, when we're talking about these three C's, we need to know who are our customers, when, where, and how do they buy. So first is who. So what kind of segment are we looking at? What kind of group we are looking at? Is it for younger generation or older generation or middle age? And even in that, they may look at, is it for students, those who are studying in schools, or is it for students, those who are studying and those who have moved into higher education? So everything is researched before an organization will come into, will devise any strategy. And when and how do they buy? What motivates them to buy? What is that motivating factor? Is it pricing? Is it promotion? Is it some innovative ad that helps them to buy it? Is it some offer? And how is the market currently segmented? And looking at that, what is the current market selling? How's it placed? And how can they leverage the market to the best of their ability? Yes, I talked about competition. Who are they? We need to know that what is my competition? What strategy I need to have? What are their weaknesses and strengths? Any areas of vulnerability where I can enter and achieve my targets and vision? How are they most likely to develop over the next few years? Are they into kind of research that they may also come with similar product or a better product in 3 years or 5 years? So everything needs to be taken into account. Capabilities, yes, what organization relative strengths and weaknesses are, what level of investments are available, can we be investing more, can we be investing less, and how might capability best be leveraged, and what are my people capabilities also in terms of knowledge. Oh, that can also be leveraged as well. Can I be hiring the best of the best brains in the market? So corporate marketing strategy, if you have to grow business, you have to look at your goal, your budget, your vision, mission. You have to build influence. You have to open thought leaders. You have to leverage social channels, build relationships through emails, through other uh, formats and platforms, strategic blogging, positive blogging, and search engine optimization. You need to listen, survey, and learn. You have to take the help of market research big time and social media advertising as well. So, dear students, I'm sharing some book and references as well with you, which will come in handy while you study more about this topic. So, thank you so much for your time. Take good care of yourself and God bless.